Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Oh, actually, let me change this up a little bit for you. So normally you'd be hearing Arizona Real Estate Showcase, which has been a very successful podcast, and we want to thank all the listeners that have been listening over the past few months. The other half of you have watched us on the LOCKBOX, which is a show that we edit up about Arizona and the people that love here. So today is the first day we are actually combining it right out of here in Scottsdale, Arizona at Star Worldwide Studios. And many of you know who the owner is. It's Dave Pratt, the morning mayor from 98 KUPD. So I know he doesn't like us to give him credit, but we're giving him credit. So the Grandon Group presents the LOCKBOX, and you'll be able to see new shows every week starting right here in the studio. And so I'm Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. And today, which is a rarity, I have my sister, Stacey Grandon.
Oh, it's Jason's lucky day.
It is that. So Stacey is also I would say you're the better part of the Grandon Group, just because you probably answer your phone probably more than I do.
I do. I answer it when it rings, which is quite often.
And so we put together a team here several years back, and we're with Corcoran Platinum Living, and things go. It seems to go really well when a brother and sister can kind of work together. And so we have a good time doing it, and we're both natives.
Yes.
Right? And then why don't you tell people where we grew up?
We grew up in North Scottsdale in the Shea Corridor on a Arabian horse ranch, training and breeding facility.
So it's funny. So we've had as many as like 350 horses at the ranch. We used to produce a big Arabian horse show, and it's funny when Stacey and I were kids, we'd breed several hundred horses a day or a year, and people would call up and they'd be like, "Hey, can I speak to your parents?" And what would you say to them?
I'm not answering that.
She'd be like, they can't right now. They're down at the barn breeding. And so people are like, what are you thinking? So anyway, like we've talked about in former podcasts and stuff, we love Arizona. We get out here and promote the state. And this is one of the best places to live in Arizona. And we handle the entire state. Stacey handles quite a bit of up north as well, like Prescott and stuff. What are you seeing up there?
I do. Prescott market is absolutely crazy. It's as crazy as it is down here in the valley. Build times are super far out. Waiting lists for people to get homes. Subdivisions going in. So a lot of stuff going on up in the Prescott Valley area. And then we have our other agent up in the Sedona, Cottonwood, Camp Verde area. And it's the same thing. A lot of building, a lot of new people moving here to the state.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. People are wanting to move to Arizona, which is fantastic, and it's at a point now. It's so crowded. You cannot have a house built in 10 months anymore. I don't think right now.
No, most builds are 12 to 18 months out. But Arizona is one of those places that you can go 1 hour away and you can change your complete landscape of where you're at. You can change your temperatures if you want to be cooler. You want to go up to the snow. You're an hour and a half, 2 hours away. You want to be down here in the valley where it's nice and warm, go play golf. Again, you can do both of those things in one day and make it home before dinner. And then
head out to some great restaurants and stuff.
Some of the best, absolutely.
So we handle a lot of Cave Creek as well, and we've seen over the past over the past couple months, we've seen such a change in the market that it's absolutely crazy. I mean, it is literally impossible to put a house on the market for, let's just say, $500,000. And buy it for $500,000.
You will not be buying it for $500,000. You will probably be spending closer to $600,000, and you'll be probably having to come close to paying cash for it just to win through all the bids that are going on.
So one of the other things that we kind of pride ourselves on is we are equine experts. And so by that, does it mean that I can go out and train horses? No, my sister's a great trainer. She did it for years. But one of the things about buying equestrian properties and land is zoning. And there's been a lot of zoning changes going on lately because, well, of all the city councils and stuff. So, Stacey, why don't you tell them some of the things going on like Cave Creek, where they think they can have a horse?
So when you're out selling horse properties, it's very, very important that you check all of your zoning or have your realtor check all of your zoning. Check it with the county, check it with the city that you're living in. Some of these kind of cross-reference. Some properties that maybe 10 years ago were a horse property, they were grandfathered at that time. There hasn't been animals there, so they're no longer horse properties. It's super, super important when you're looking for a certain property to meet those specific needs that your agent gets out there and makes sure that that property is going to work for those needs that you have.
Well, and first of all, your agent should be the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team.
Yes, that's correct.
So the the other fun stuff on that is that we have a lot of people that are moving here from out of town. They move here from California, Portland, wherever, and they're like, we want land. I need to have 2 acres, 3 acres, and they don't have a horse on it. But as their kids get older, they decide to get a horse, and now they cannot have a horse.
Yes, certain areas. And then to find 2 or 3 acres anymore in Maricopa County is getting very, very difficult, let alone finding the 5 or 10 acres. This used to be a horse capital of the United States. It's not that anymore. We've been built out. We are a big urban city now.
It is that, and it's amazing the size of the homes that people are putting in. It's absolutely crazy.
Yes.
So, and now we also have our sponsor. So everybody, when you in today's market, when you go out, you need to be pre-qualified. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
If you're just going out to look, you're like, I'm thinking about buying a house, and you are not pre-qualified, you're going to get beat out. There's no doubt about it. And so the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, we're also full-time agents, right?
We are 7 days a week. You can call us morning, noon, or night, and we are there.
So our sponsor, which we're really happy to have, one of the best mortgage companies out there, the Brandon HENDRICKS team with VIP Mortgage, and he sent his business development manager in, Angela.
Hello.
What's going on?
Well, nothing. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Good.
So, hey, so what are you seeing these days? I know you're getting inundated with calls. Are most people qualified, or?
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of people who we are able to pre-qualify. I think the biggest thing we're seeing is just people that are calling in, trying to get, what we do is we don't just pre-qualify, we pre-approve. So I think that's huge.
What's the difference?
So we're just not saying, we checked your credit and you're good to go with the pre-qualification. We're actually peeling back the layers, taking those additional steps so that doing a lot of the hard work up front, so then the rest of the process, once they find the home, is super simple.
So the guy you work for, Brandon?
Yes.
And his wife is an accomplished author as well?
Yes, she's amazing. Stephanie Hendrick.
They are a great team, and one of the great things about good mortgage companies is that somebody that, Stacey and I can go in there, send a deal over, and we know it's going to get done, unlike getting down to the table to sign and, oh, you're not qualified.
Correct. Yep. So we have an entire team that's there to help from, the initial phone call with the client all the way through closing day. So there's an entire team there to support them.
So what are some of the things people call you about when they say, hey, I'm moving to Arizona? So Stacey and I get calls, a lot of out-of-state people, wouldn't you think?
Yes, absolutely.
We get a lot of out-of-state people, and they're like, hey, you know what? I want to move to Arizona. I want to buy a condo, maybe a mobile home, maybe a big house. What's the difference between those?
We get all of those calls. So we have people calling from out of state who are looking, to buy anywhere from, like you said, a mobile home to a $1 million property. We work with everybody, and everybody goes through that same process where, when they're initially calling in, we're not going, what's your credit? How much do you make? We're really having a conversation with them, peeling back those layers, building trust, finding out what's your goals. What part of the valley do you want to live in? Why? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Is this your first home? Is this your forever home? We really take the time to talk to them about that so that, we don't see ourselves as just somebody who's doing a loan for the client. We really want to help educate them, and we want them to make the best financial decision for them and their family.
No, that's great. And so how long has VIP Mortgage and the Hendricks team been around?
Oh, gosh, that's a good question. I would say...
And I'll say a long time.
Probably, 10 plus years is what I'm thinking.
And Stacey and I have worked with Brandon and Stephanie. Isn't it a blast?
I love it. They're there for us 7 days a week. So if I'm out showing a property on Sunday afternoon and I need paperwork to get my offer submitted, it is in my email before I even get in my driveway.
Don't you think that's one of the biggest challenges right now is that if it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening trying to get stuff done?
I think communication is probably one of the biggest challenges in Not just our industry, in many industries all together.
It is. And I mean, if you're buying a house, it's like the most important decision.
Exactly.
Even if it's an investment house. So I know there's been times, Stacey, you've got to call 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and you needed a pre-qualification letter.
I know when I call the Hendricks team, I'm going to have it within 10 minutes.
No, exactly. And then what's great is that, you guys don't act like realtors. So if you have a realtor question, you send it off to whoever the agents are you're dealing with.
Exactly. Yeah. We stay in our lane. We help educate the client, but we also want to make sure that they're working with a realtor like you guys with the Grandon Group that's going to help them, and educate them on what's best for them.
So I'm going to put you both on the spot here a little bit.
Yay.
So, and I know Stacey and I have had this conversation before,
Okay.
but don't you think that, and I take hits on this from the other agents, don't you think if you're a realtor, you should be full-time? And our slogan is full-time agent for your full-time life. But in this business, in this environment, Stacey, you agree that you need to be full-time or just not be in this business?
I absolutely agree. I think buying real estate or doing any transaction that is more than $100 is some sort of an investment, and I think it should be taken very seriously when you're buying a house, because that is your investment, or in a lot of cases, that's somebody's retirement. That's what they have.
Absolutely.
I do agree. I think like you said, your house is your biggest investment that you're probably going to make. So you really want to be working with somebody who is not only professional, but has the experience. And I don't know if you're working part-time that you're really, you do it on the side. You probably don't need to have a side hustle if you're doing what you love and what you're passionate about.
No, correct. And I don't want to put you on the spot because there are some good part-time agents.
There are.
But you need to be available for clients 24/7.
Yes, and that could be difficult when you're, have a different full-time
especially
job.
in a market like we have right now. There's no time to wait for somebody to get off of work to go show them a house, because by the time you get there, there's going to be 25 offers, and now you potentially lost it, or, with the coming soon stuff. So there's just a lot of variables. It doesn't make you a bad person.
No.
But it is something that, I wouldn't use a part-time financial advisor. I would only use a full-time one.
Exactly. And one of the things that actually, and again, there's Hendricks team is a sponsor of ours, but one of the things that I think have helped push us over the edge on a couple of deals over the past couple months is that we submit an offer, and without us even knowing, Brandon or someone from his team sends a letter to the agent that's accepting the offer saying, hey, here's why this person is above and beyond everyone else, which is huge.
Yes, which means they've done their homework prior to us even submitting an offer, which weighs in really big when people are looking at multiple offers.
Right.
No, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So
we're able to put that additional touch in there because we have done, remember, not just the pre-qualification, we've actually pre-approved them. So we're able to make that phone call to the listing agent. I don't know how many listing agents I've talked to that said, hey, that phone call or that letter that we received, the commitments as a lender to the listing agent, that's what really helped to get this deal or this contract accepted over others.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, Stacey, back to the land, because we do get a lot of people. They're moving out of here from out of state. They retire, and they want a horse. What are you telling them?
I send them to one of my horse trainer friends. That's sort of my past life. So I refer most of that stuff out.
So we get a lot of people that move here, and and it's funny, especially when you get some of the strong city New Yorker types. They come here and they get a cowboy hat and they get a taste of the Old West, and they love it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the Grandon Group can find you some really great stuff. But these are the little things you want to think about before you actually. We've had people literally move here and I want to live all the way in Rio Verde. And we're like, you're 30 minutes out, from the closest town, and you're used to being in the city, and it's definitely a culture shock.
Yeah.
It's fun, though.
Oh,
It's a lifestyle.
Right.
We have so many sections of the Maricopa County area that it's like a lifestyle change. So it's interesting and it's fun and.
Well, that's one great thing about Arizona too, is that when you guys move here, and this is so we have instantrenters.com as well for those that don't necessarily know where they want to live. We can help them live. We can help them find a rental, and it's impossible to find a rental right now. It's a weird market, but every single area in Arizona, and I think you'll agree, has a different personality.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So what do you think about that, Stacey?
I would totally agree.
And I mean, you can go a mile up the road and it's totally different. I mean, as you can see, we're sitting here in downtown Scottsdale looking at high rises, looking at the views of the mountains. And a mile in any direction has a totally different personality. I can golf over there. I can ride horses over here. And if I go a couple hours north, I can go skiing.
Right.
Maybe not today because
Not
it's
today, probably.
today.
starting to get a little warm.
A little, yeah. That's what I love about Arizona.
You could
Just
go
the
45 minutes, though, and jump on a boat and go water skiing.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
The lakes are getting
Yeah.
ready to open.
Yeah.
So it's a great time.
And
Great
we
time.
are open, so.
Oh, yep.
Yes.
And Arizona's been a really great state. We got good schools. Everything else is really going good here. So it's a great place to move, and we highly recommend it. So for those of you that are thinking about making the change, I know some of you are watching this in Kansas right now and back east where you're probably still getting a little bit of snow. I highly recommend you call myself, call Stacey, or call Angela at the Hendricks team and get pre-qualified. Let us answer the questions about the lifestyle that is Arizona. Angela, tell people how to reach out to you.
Sure. You can contact us via email at hendrickteam at vipmtg.inc.com. Or you can always contact me, 602-684-1727.
They can also click the link on the site.
Oh, yes.
And it'll go right to you, right?
Yes, there's a button there you can click and you'll get right in touch with our team.
And then, of course, you can always reach out to myself. Stacey will probably answer more than me, don't you think?
Yes, definitely.
So you can reach out to the Grandon Group, which is Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. We're full-time agents for your full-time life. Hey, you guys, thanks for joining our first episode in our new studios. I hope, and I hope all the viewers, I hope you guys really enjoy this podcast, people. Hope you love it. You can go to the site, grandongroup.com, or go to Star Worldwide Networks. Look for my handsome mug, and you'll just click on it, and you can watch our shows there. Hey, you guys enjoy it. We're Jason and Stacey Grandon with the Grandon Group. You just watched another episode of The LOCKBOX. We'll talk to you soon.